Yeah, Porcupine versus Jim is a set I'm looking forward to. I mean, I think Senpai versus Porcupine would have been really good as well. Those two have had some incredible back and forth. But Jim versus Porcupine isn't something we get to see as often as Senpai versus Pork. So, yeah, I want to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more than ready to see what happens. I mean, Zetter versus Maple, something that's a tried true classic of this game. Gonna be starting things off once again with a tried true classic, a Jules Veil start.
Yes!
Can never really go wrong with that one.
Best starter in the game!
Oh man, I know a lot of people might have some choice words about that. Namely
well,
the entirety of Arizona.
Jules Veil's better. You see Jules Veil picked as a starter way more than Merchant. Merchant's more of a counterpick stage than a starter. But anyway, I'm getting off script here.
True. I mean, either way, you know, going to be a relatively neutral starter, but not a very neutral start. We're already going to be starting things off, taking a lot of damage from Jim. You know, it started off with Pork very firmly in the lead, and then Jim got one neutral win, and Pork was just kind of in disadvantage for, you know, a solid 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. No air dodge.
Gets the reverse hit of Nair. Definitely not what he wanted in that situation. And that DI on the F-Strong's not what you want either. I mean, it's high percent, but still could have lived it.
One thing I want to note, right? You know, Pork's use of strong attacks is actually so good because he doesn't just go for the strong attack that makes sense, the strong attack that's optimal in a scenario. He goes for the one that makes sense, the one that works. And, you know, despite dropping that stock to the Tether Nair earlier, you know, this still feels like it could be in Pork's favor the moment Jim does mess up.
Yeah, and I love having that Lily there by the ledge as Jim goes down to do the aggressive, you know, wall edge guards versus Porcupine. Ends up paying off. I think he got all of that off of just being able to, you know, continue his advantage state with the hit stun from Lily as Pork recovered.
I mean, that's the use of these platforms for the up air extensions, right? You get an up air, you jump off of the other platform, and all of a sudden, tether up air into another double jump up air is still on the table. Jim's so good at holding onto these resources, getting straight back on stage.
Beautiful how he hit the back air while he was still below the ledge, and then did a jump wave land. But not ready to tech that down special.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really, really hard one to tech. There's a certain window of it that's just straight up air untechable, if I understand correctly. But it just makes things so difficult into Zetter. You had to be so ready at any moment. And right now, you know, Pork might actually have the opportunity to go for a full kill because he's not at tether fair percent just yet. But Jim with a tether up air, not gonna need the forward air to take Pork's first game.
Yeah, Jim. We see Jim eliminate Porcupine. We have Pork and Aikawa both. I mean, Aikawa really low placing, but Porcupine out at fourth is pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, either way, Jim, no slouch, going to make sure that, you know, it's always a possibility, but if anyone's going to make you fight for it, Pork's definitely one of the players on the table. Right now, you've got a stage like Force Floor where the blast zones are relatively close on both the sides and the top, so you got to be really, really careful.
Oh, the side blast zones are pretty big on this one. I don't know, might just be me.
I view things through the lens of an Ori player. My character's broken. I carry everyone off the side.
The side blast zones are always close for you.
But
that up smash magnet hand.
Top blast zone more than close enough for Pork, baby.
Yeah.
And just like that, Pork putting the Philippines in a good position to take top 3. It might only be stock number 1, but it might as well be the whole game.
Yeah, he's avenging his Filipino brother.
true. I mean, well, all memes aside, right? That first stock actually means so much for this game, especially on a stage that you can kill off the top so easily like this one. If Pork can hold... Yeah.
I think I saw Porcupine thinking of going for an up smash on that platform, and it just straight up would have killed Jim if he had hit it.
Oh, yeah.
Jim hasn't gotten any of the F smash edge guards he got on Senpai. Porcupine's doing a great job of mixing up his timings. On the return...
Oh, what an air dodge!
And that's what I was talking about earlier, how oftentimes you'll just hold to the side when you're in tether, because you want to escape in case the maple's a little slow. Or not in tether, in match. But this time, it worked for Porcupine. It did not work for Senpai when he was trying to do that.
I mean, for Jim, right, you know, it's really difficult there because you have to charge the up strong a little bit or else it won't kill, but Pork just able to get out just in time. Jim in a lot of trouble here. Not going to be able to convert just yet.
Yeah,
man, these timing mix-ups. Oh, man.
Porcupine's timing mix-ups on his recoveries are so good, and I mean, we're seeing Jim struggle to edge guard him when he's off stage. Better burn if you know what you're doing. Really good recovery.
Yeah, I mean, those timing mixes were really nice. You also have to give credit to Jim for being able to call out those timing mix-ups. You know, that raw Shoryu, just straight in the middle, gonna be able to take him off the top. That's not something that you can really get just purely off of luck. We've mentioned it before. Jim might look a little bit lucky sometimes. It's pure skill, right? You know, you have to be ready to prioritize being able to convert off of these, but the Gatling doesn't care about what it is you're doing, where you're DIing, where you're headed, because the only place that you're headed after that hit is the blast zone.
Yeah. And, I mean, on that last stock, we saw Jim making a bit of a comeback. He was playing neutral really well. Porcupine was struggling to find openings. And so Jim was just slowly gaining back damage. But then Pork found his one opening that he needed, and that was it. So now we'll see how things go here on Gates. Massive blast zone. So maybe Jim will be able to live a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, I think only stage available with bigger blast zones would probably be Fire Capital, if even. Probably. I mean, only other one I could think of would probably be Tempest Peak, but we've already seen how Tempest Peak works out, honestly. But right now, both players just trying to rack up damage, but the down strong.
Down smash out a hit stun. What is this, Arcane?
I mean, Orcane, we like to complain about having a frame 7 down strong. How about frame 5, baby? Oh my lord.
Oh no, if Jim had done up smash instead of F smash, but no, he wasn't quite able to read the DI that Pork was going to choose there. And so Pork was able to escape.
Yeah, it's a rough position when you try to win the 50-50 and you just come up short. You know, I mean, that's the nature of 50-50s, but either way, Pork just coming up on top every single time on these coin flips.
Yeah, and Jim needs to find some sort of way to close out this stock. I don't think he's going to get it with any like random smash attacks. He might be able to get another call out with the up B, but yeah, these smash attacks are just missing. So hard to kill this guy.
Oh my lord.
Finally.
But there it is.
This guy's durability is insane. It's like 180 almost every time. Porcupine's able to survive up to those high percents.
Yeah, I
mean,
little
tech base.
Right now, you can see Jim's getting back into the swing of things, starting to gain some momentum, starting to gain a little bit of control, starting to, at the very least, break some of Pork's momentum to the point where, you know, even if you don't win this, you're still playing a set, right? You know, we've seen the game 5s come through. We've seen Jim's mental fortitude and how strong it is. And the question is, are we going to see this in the next game? Is Pork going to take that one very convincingly? But we've seen this before.
Yeah, I mean, Jim absolutely got destroyed by Senpai, but then made the comeback to win the set.
Oh!
But This time he's pulling out his Raster, which I've never seen in tournament before. But I mean, I know he has a very good Raster.
You know, we've heard legends.
Yeah, right now it's looking pretty good.
This is Street Wave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you
what's
see
gonna be...
the slip.
Oh yeah, I love the little disc.
Yeah,
but what I was gonna say is, if Jim gets his kill confirms on point with Raster, that's going to be, you know, the decision maker for this set. I think the whole thing we've seen is that Porqpine's able to survive forever like this. And I think that's especially a big thing with Raster. It's like he can kill you early, but it's pretty hard and you got to be really good with him. Otherwise, you're going to be struggling.
The Marthritis.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Marthritis coming on in. And Jim right now needs to find, you know, a dash attack, a nair, something, some kind of combo starter to really get this stock away from Pork. But at 159, this guy just refuses to die.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so hard when you're Raster in this position. What are you gonna do? I could see him living to like 200 at this point.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Down strong off stage? Pork's gonna take that. I mean, we've seen it time and time again.
And now you're on fire. Porqpine gets like 2 hits. Up strong, you're dead.
Does it take 2? I mean, I know that the blast zones are large on this stage, but a single upstrong with on fire right now could straight up do it. Not gonna be able to get it just yet.
Yeah.
All right, Jim.
None of your kill confirms
Can we get a
work
stock?
You had to close the stock out earlier. Doesn't matter if you win neutral. You only get a little bit of damage each time, and damage doesn't matter.
221. Fireline not gonna die, Jim! What the?
Back here.
I'm so sorry, Jim! Pork is a machine!
He's still living! 238!
How in the world did he space that? Okay, finally, he goes down to the back air off the top. Somehow did it purple. Somehow brings in the purple as we go to the last dock. Jim, still playing Raster, still has the ability to 0 to death Pork, but not if the down strong comes through. Pork, what the hell?
Oh my gosh, that was so dumb. Dude, you live like 240%, tries to back air the center stage, and then just immediately kills himself, and then wins the game. Kind of a ridiculous ending there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, really solid run from Jim. Coming all the way over to 4th, but... Okay, so, I'm gonna say something, right? Right before this bracket, you know, I didn't want to spoil myself for anything, so I wasn't looking through the Start GG or anything like that. I was watching an anime, and the anime is about, you know, basically a character.
Of course you were.
Like,
of course you were.
Yeah, I actually don't watch much anime. I usually just read manga.
Okay.
But so the whole thing with this character is like, oh yeah, you know, she doesn't want to get hurt, so she just pours all of her stat points into defense. And then she just turns into this walking tank. I don't think that I needed to be watching that anime if apparently I could just watch Pork in bracket.
Unkillable Zetterburn. He plays, and you think Zetterburn's a heavy.
I mean,
think it's Crag.
Everyone has been complaining that Olympia's too heavy, but Olympia's weight is right in between Zetterburn and Shovel Knight. I mean, if we're watching Pork Zetterburn, maybe anyone who's heavier than Zetterburn is too heavy. I just don't get it.
We're gonna see if Daylight has the solution. Because, well, unfortunately, Jim didn't.